So I am back home, finally. It's been over a year and a half since I've been home from college, and it is so nice to be back. I have missed it so much, and it's really nice to be back in the mountains and in the sunshine and all the prettiness, and I'm absolutely loving it so far, and I have a whole month left here about. But I have been informed that our landlord is selling the house in the spring. And that has been very difficult news for me to come to terms with because I love my house. I really do. I've been very content and happy in our house. It's brought me a lot of precious memories, and it's sad to have to go. And I'm not sharing that for pity. That's the last thing I want. I'm sharing that because I want to encourage you in the fact that I'm currently going through a process of grieving in a way and learning how to trust God in an uncertain circumstance, and especially an unexpected one. So I'm currently having to apply trust and faith in my life right now, and trusting that God will provide. Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide. Trusting that God will send me to a new place that He has for me. And in life, we have to say goodbye to things that we cherish and we hold dear, and things that we wish we could hold on to forever. It's just the way life is. You're gonna have to say goodbye to things and people, and you're gonna have to let go of things and move on from one thing to the next. And you're gonna have to endure that process of healing and transition and change. And it's uncomfortable. It can be scary, but that's where trust comes in. It's somewhere around like 90 or more times just in the Gospel of John where Jesus says, just believe, only believe. Do not fear, be not afraid, just believe. Where is your unbelief? That's the foundation of everything. When everything else around us is shaking and falling apart and changing, Christ remains steadfast and unchanging, firm foundation, the rock on which we stand. Belief in that is our foundation. And because we're believing in something that is true, we have a blessed hope. And belief is a choice. It's not just a feeling. You have to choose to believe when it's hard to believe. And that's what I'm experiencing right now. I have to choose to believe. Because Christ is my foundation, I have to choose to remind myself and hope in and put my faith and trust in, believe that God will provide. He will provide another place for us to live. Even if that's not what we want, even if we want to stay here, even if I don't understand why we have to leave, even if I don't understand and feel like it's impossible to find another place to live because the real estate in our area and our state is ridiculous right now, and it seems impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And I can have so much joy and rest and peace in that, knowing that regardless of this unforeseen circumstance that I have found myself in, I can honestly just chill because I can rest in the fact that God will take care of me. He will meet all of my needs. God knows even more than I do. All of my needs and my wants, the longings and desires of my heart, He knows where He's taking me next. He knows what I need to experience and grow through for my good and His glory. and I can just trust that. And so I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to trust in that as well. And you may be suffering loss right now. You may be in a tight spot financially or with work or whatever the case is. I want to encourage you and urge you right now to please cherish the gifts and the blessings that you have in your life right now, because you're not going to have them forever. You're not going to have them all the time. God gives and he takes away. But he always gives. We don't know where we're going to be next. But God will look out for us. He always has. He's taking away, but he's going to give something in place of it. He's always going to provide. Always. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Because he has always met all of my needs. So I want to remind you that while you still have what God has given you, make good use of it. Don't waste it. Don't let the time you have and the resources you have go to waste. Be thankful and be present and be intentional with what you've been given. Because you're not going to have it forever. You're not going to have all the time in the world. While you still have the people in your life that you love and care about, make sure they know that. Make sure they know that you value them, you treasure them, and you love them. Be clear about that. Even if it's uncomfortable, or even if you're not used to it or they're not used to it, get used to it. Because the people in your life need to know that you love them and that you're there for them. Because what if they die feeling like you didn't love them, or that you weren't there for them when you could have been? That's a big load, a big burden for you to carry on your shoulders. That's a lot of shame and regret that I don't want you to experience. Because I've experienced that. Because I didn't know just how precious the people around me were while I still had them. It's the same with any other blessing or gifts that you've been given, which includes shelter, money, a job, clothes, your hobbies, your talents, opportunities. Don't let those go to waste. Seek them out. Make the best use of them as you possibly can while you still have time, while you're still able. If I did not recognize that this house was a gift from God, an answered prayer, if I didn't already want to glorify him with the way that I tended to this house and nurtured this house and lived in this house and made it comfortable and clean and inviting, if I didn't already live here with that perspective and that mindset and that heart position of gratitude and praise toward God, I would be completely regretting all the time wasted being here when I still had it, knowing that I had no time left to do those things because the house is being sold in a few months. A couple months, actually. And so I just feel like I want to encourage you through what I'm currently going through with that, and let you know that you can't waste your time. You can't waste your resources. Thank God for them and use them for his glory.